dice que si con uno de los Charlos.
También, como dicen por allí, sí work.
No, pero ellos son 160, 154.
Pues si quieren subir, que suban, ¿verdad? Y si se puede después, la hacemos en 160. Sí, con el que sea estamos listos, pero como le digo, en mayo va a ser el 168 con un buen campeón.
¿Cuándo podemos esperar que se anuncie la pelea, Eddie?
Pues tenemos que tener algunas juntas con la gente de Golden Boy, con la gente de DAZN para ver qué es lo que sigue. Nosotros no nos dirigimos solos, ni hacemos las peleas solos, tenemos gente con la cual tenemos que respetar ciertos contratos, entonces es sentarse a hablar qué es lo que le conviene a todas las partes y salir adelante de esto.
Pero Canelo sigue con las peleas más difíciles, con los campeones, nada fácil.
Pues claro, lo han visto, por eso lo subieron al libra por libra y por eso fue el boxeador del año.
Oye, la gente...
So what do you have to do to get the Canelo Triple G fight? Because it seemed like he ducked you, they just franchise tagged him. So I feel like, what do you got to do to get this fight, man? You've been asking for the fight for a long time. You've been beating these guys that's in front of you. Canelo say he want to fight the best fighters. Triple G say they want to fight the best fighters. But it seems like they don't want to work with Jermall Charlo. What you got to do to get this fight, man?
Man, that's the great question, You know, in order for me to get this fight with Canelo, I'm gonna need all my fans, all the Lions only team to vouch for me. You know, we all gotta just put in that word and, keep putting in work. Canelo gotta fight me sooner or later. He cannot retire without fighting me. I'm one of the best out there, 29-0, 21 knockouts. He gotta fight me sooner or later. In order to fight Canelo, I probably gotta go to Dallas. What's up, man?
Errol Spence, new media member, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So,
oh, brother.
I love you, Daddy.
Jermall, is it safe to say that this guy was the most elusive guy you've ever faced, and was he the hardest chin you've ever hit?
Hell no. He wasn't elusive. He wasn't explosive. He moved a lot. He ran a lot. He took a lot of punishment. He won a contender. He was a contender champion. He had, he trained hard to fight me. Wasn't nothing but I made the adjustments. I ain't stopping something y'all used to seeing. But styles, big matchups. You stick and move. That's the part of boxing. I want to fight. No excuses, man. No excuses. We only train hard. We only get better from here. Good work, Jamal.
hey, Jermall.
Canelo's trainer, longtime trainer Eddie Reynoso says Canelo versus Charlo, Jermall Charlo, is easy work. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash app, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, there was an interview conducted with Eddie Reynoso for Ryan Garcia's Fight Week, and I've been meaning to make this video. Before I get started, sign up for ESPN Plus using my link. It definitely helps the channel when you guys click on that link, sign up, get ESPN Plus, a lot of great features. You can also get the ESPN Disney Plus Hulu bundle, all three apps, $12.99. Let's get it. Now, I've been meaning to make this particular video, and I didn't want it to slip away, so I'm like, I gotta do this right now. And I ain't heard nobody really talk about it, so leave it to your boy, the kid, the Don, Ego. And you guys heard it. Eddie Reynoso for Ryan Garcia's Fight Week. Ryan Garcia just looked very good versus Fonseca. Brutally knocked him out. Definitely a knockout of the year nominee. And he was asked about a fight with Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo's been, barking up that tree. Has been asking for the Canelo fight. He says he wants to fight Canelo, fights Triple G. And now, recently, Charlo has basically said, he was on Sirius XM. He said, I want to fight Canelo. He said, you don't really see the same respect being given as as much to Triple G right now. You don't really see Andre's name being mentioned, but the guy that everyone's saying is the man in my division, is other than me, is Canelo. So I want to fight him. And you heard Eddie Reynoso. He says that Charlo is easy work, and then he kind of laughed, and some of the media reporters laughed about it too. But for me, it's not really a laughing matter. I feel like Charlo versus Canelo is literally the best American fight, barring something weird like like Floyd Mayweather coming back, which we know that's not going to happen. Oscar De La Hoya already shot that down. He said they're too far apart in weight. It's not going to happen. Plus, why would Floyd, who just beat Canelo in 2013, not just beat him, but he already beat him and schooled him, he would be the A side, right? He's not going to fight on the app because Canelo got his situation with DAZN. Why would the A side give up A side rights and privileges, especially when he schooled Canelo when they did fight? And they're too far apart in weight, so that's already a dead issue. Shout out to Oscar De La Hoya for clearing that up. So more realistic fights. Canelo was turned down by Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Smith, at least with the initial offers. So to me, I want to see the Charlo fight. I've been asking for the Charlo fight. Charlo was at 154 when Canelo made up his weight division at 155 and put that extra pound on it. So virtually the same division. They're both champions at 154. Canelo's been a champion there. He's been a champion at 160. Charlo is the champion at 160. This would clear the air about the whole madness with the franchise champion, because before Canelo, no one even really knew what the franchise champion was because that hadn't been invented. But the WBC, gave Canelo this out and his mandatory after defeating Golovkin. Golovkin was supposed to fight Charlo, but we know he didn't want to fight him. And he didn't even want to fight Derevyanchenko when Canelo failed a drug test. And, as soon as Canelo beat him, which I do think he did in the second fight, as soon as he beat Golovkin, he became the man and had the belts and hadn't lost since Floyd, technically on paper, hadn't lost since Floyd. So he inherited Triple G's mandatory, which was Charlo. So he didn't fight him, became the franchise champion. That was a bad look, in my opinion. And now that would settle it if you fight Charlo. Charlo's from Houston, Texas. He has a following. Him and his brother are doing a great job just promoting. When they make headlines, when they're in videos, when they do interviews, fun press conferences, stare downs, weigh-ins, people tune in and people check out what's going on and keep up with the Charlos. So the branding has been there. The Charlos, this is an actual fact. You guys can look this up. Charlo brothers, they christened the Fox PBC deal, and they host the best ratings on regular Fox, regular TV, not Fox pay-per-view or nothing, when they fought together on the same card in December when they kicked off the PBC on Fox deal. There's other fights like Charlo Harrison that did great numbers, and also Keith Thurman versus Jose Cito Lopez. But the fight that did over 2 million was that very first one, where it was Charlo versus Harrison, his brother, and Big Charlo versus Matt Korobov. It was supposed to be Willie Monroe, but Willie Monroe failed a drug test. You guys could look it all up. So his star power's there. He's done over 2 million, and he's a champion. He was a champion in 154, just like Canelo. Two-time champion, two-weight division champion, whatever you want to call it. And he's been calling out Canelo, and he was the mandatory, and it would settle the franchise. So as far as Eddie Reynoso, I'm just like, my thing is, if he's easy work, why not fight him? Why would you be looking at Julio Cesar Chavez and Rocky Fielding? Currently, Kovalev, who was on his last leg, almost got stopped by Anthony Yard, quick turnaround. Why would you be looking at a guy like Ryota Murata and doing negotiations? Why would you be looking at Caleb Smith, who really lost to John Ryder in his last fight? He was even booed in his hometown because a lot of people thought John Ryder was the rightful winner. Billy Joe Saunders did not look well in his fight on a YouTube card. So he was on the undercard of Devin Haney and the two YouTubers, and he didn't impress. He had got the guy out of there finally in the 11th round, but for the first 10 rounds it was a struggle, and he was looking like he was on his way to lose the fight, but he ended up knocking the dude out in that one round, and that kind of saved his ass. So the walls are closing in for Canelo. I keep saying the same thing over and over. If Charlo is such easy work, then why not fight him? How come all these British fighters, European fighters, Eastern European fighters, guys who were older, guys who were considered to be on their way out or the final chapter, they can get the call? But Charlo, who literally, this is a fun fact, ego fun fact, Jermall Charlo and Jermall Charlo, obviously they're twins, they are about 5 or 6 months older than Canelo, but they were born in the same exact year, and they're about 5 or 6 months apart in age. So this will be the first time in a long time that Canelo fought someone that we respect like Charlo, who is that close to him in age with the skill set. Charlo has a monster jab, piston-like jab. He can move his legs, he can box, he could get aggressive, he could walk you down. I mean, I'm aware that he fought Dennis Hogan, but Dennis Hogan, you know, he has my respect. He's awkward, he's tricky, and he was trying different things. Charlo just broke him down. No retreat, no surrender. You know, he made it look easy versus a guy like Jaime Munguia, who was big for 154, fought Jaime Munguia fought Dennis Hogan when nobody knew who he even was. And Jaime Munguia struggled with him and really should have lost to Dennis Hogan. Charlo fought him and had him doing somersaults, and it was just a one-sided blowout. Styles make fights, people. Styles make fights. So speaking of styles make fights, I think Charlo's style meshes well with any top guy. Andrade, Triple G, Canelo, Jacob. I mean, he has the style for it. He could box. He has an authoritative jab. His jab is a power punch. He dropped Julian J. Rock Williams with a jab, just like Caleb Plant the other day rocked his opponent, Fane Butts, with a jab. Just a good jab will put the person in his place. Charlo has that. He has longer arms than Canelo. He's taller than Canelo. And the thing is, there's a lot of Canelo man fans, and anytime Canelo is threatened with a good fight, they'll be the first ones to bail out, because it's not really about competitive fights. It's not about the best versus the best, and they don't have the confidence in their fighter that they claim to have. It's just a bunch of pom-pom waving and man fandom, you know, because if you really have confidence, like Roy Jones is my favorite fighter of all time, him and Mike Tyson. I didn't care if Mike Tyson was going to fight Lennox Lewis. He could have fought anyone. David Tua, I wouldn't mind. I would never get in the way and say, I don't want to see these fights. I don't want to see him fight Holyfield. Win, lose, or draw. I never said I don't want Roy Jones to fight Bernard Hopkins or rematch Bernard Hopkins or Joe Calzaghe or, you know, James Toney or Virgil Hill or David Telasco, because I have faith in Roy Jones' ability. Antonio Tarver, I didn't mind a rematch. I mean, he got knocked out in the rematch, but I didn't mind him fighting because, you know, that's what you do. You have belief and faith until someone proves you wrong in your fighter when you think they're the best in the world. But it's apparent that Canelo man fans, a lot of them don't really feel that, because they'll find every excuse under the sun that Charlo is not worth it. And, you know, they'll go on with what Eddie Reynoso said and say he's easy work. But that's easy to say when you're not making the fight, when you're not sending him a legit offer. You know, De La Hoya saying, oh, the train has left and we offered him this secret deal that no one knew about and he didn't turn it down, but somebody with no name, a John Doe, turned it down. I don't believe that, you know. And now you're seeing the walls are closing in for Canelo. People are turning down his offers. Caleb Plant said, I'll fight him, but you go unify. I'm not fighting you off a quick turnaround. I just got off a fight 2 days ago. You know, you're not going to try to play me. I'm a champion. I'm not operating on that time. I'm not thirsty. I'm not desperate. Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Smith, they're like, nah, whatever was in the contract that they didn't like, they felt it was unfair or it wasn't balanced, they rejected the first initial offer. We'll see how that plays out, you know. And Canelo's and Golden Boy's gimmicks and games and strategy, or whatever you want to call it, of how they're managing Canelo is very obvious, and people see it. And he's been called out. Like, you know, it's just what it is. New media, Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez, Nacho Beristain, Chavez Sr., David Fatelson of ESPN Deportes. You know, everybody has seen the gimmick and game that he's playing. And the sad thing is Canelo's actually a really good fighter. He's disciplined. He has hand speed. You know, he doesn't have to, him and his team don't have to do all this. So to me, actions speak louder than words. If Charlo's so easy, just like you gave Amir Khan and Liam Smith and James Kirkland How come James Kirkland can get, he was on a year layoff with, he for whatever reason wasn't allowed to use Ann Wolf. He's from Texas and you could fight him. He has no defense. He was hurt by Angulo. He got knocked out by a non-puncher in Ishida who Golovkin stretched, right? And he could get a Canelo fight, no questions asked, the week after Mayweather-Pacquiao. But another Texan in Charlo, who we know is good, who we know is, you know, confident and plays the villain role and bigger than Canelo, has a great jab, way better defense, way better slick movement and boxing rhythmic movement with Ronnie Shields. You know, he's a Texan that can't get the fight, but Kirkland can get the fight off of a year layoff and a war with Glenn Tapia. You know, it's just ironic how the Canelo fans tried to omit that. Amir Khan did nothing at 154, let alone 155. He's able to come off the Chris Algieri fight where he didn't even look good, have a year layoff, yet fight Canelo. Rocky Fielding got knocked out by Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith at that time didn't get the fight, but Rocky Fielding is able to open up Canelo's multi-million-dollar deal with DAZN and get slaughtered in a one-sided fight. You know, people know what it is. Charlo's been calling out Canelo for a while. If Eddie Reynoso really and truly believes, and Canelo really and truly believes that Charlo is easy work, then there's one way to prove it, by showing it. Point blank, period. It is that simple, people. Let me know what you guys think. Charlo versus Canelo. Do you believe Eddie Reynoso? And listen, my thing is this. A lot of man fans from Canelo, they're going to say, oh, you just want to see it and blah, blah, blah. I need to see things about Charlo as well. It's just a good fight. So it proves stuff for Charlo. It proves stuff either way, whoever wins that. I want to see it. So don't talk about it, be about it. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.